Now that we know what the slope is and we can find the slope given 2 points, let's see if we can start graphing some lines with some other information, meaning the slope and its y-intercept. On the last lesson we learned what that y-intercept was. So we're going to use the letter M for slope, and we're going to use the letter B for the y-intercept. I don't know why, that's just what we do. So the way we're going to graph a line is we're going to first plot B on the y-axis, because it's the y-intercept, and then from B we're going to use our slope to get more points. Think about it alphabetically. B comes before M. Plot B, then use the slope. So looking at number 5, we're going to plot the B on the y-axis, and then we're going to use our slope to get more points. So from here, from our B, we're going to rise 3 and run 4, and it's all positive. So we're going to go up 1, 2, 3, and over 1, 2, 3, 4, put a point. Do it again from this point. Up 1, 2, 3, and go over 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I know we ran out of paper, but that's okay. I also want you to know that a positive over a positive is the same as a negative over a negative, right? So I could from this point go down 1, 2, 3 and go left 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at those points. They are collinear. So that's how we're going to use the slope to get more points, to make our graph just a little bit more accurate. Okay, B before M on the y-axis. Now where are you going to put that negative? It doesn't matter. It can go with the 2 or it can go with the 3, just not both. So how about let's just use both? I mean, not both, meaning let's use both those fractions, both those options. So from my point, I'm going to go down 2 for the negative 2, but I'm going to go right 3 for this point. And this one I'm going to go up 2, but left 3 for that one. Do you see? Collinear. I could, from here, I could go down 2 and over 1, 2, 3 again if I wanted to. And that does have a negative slope. Number 7, plotting B, again on our y-axis, but wait a minute, that's not a fraction. I need rise over run. Yes, you can put it over 1. And again, you can make either number negative, just not both, because I need it to stay negative. So from my point, I'm going to go down 3 and to the right 1 to do that one. Or I could go up 3 and left 1 to do that one. Kind of getting it? Should be pretty easy. Now let's look at 8 and 9. Got that 0 and that undefined. You should already be thinking, oh, vertical, horizontal, which one's which one's which. All right, B is negative 3. Now 0. 0. Slope is 0. Well, you could make 0 over 1, meaning you don't go up and down any and you go to the right one. And that might remind you, oh yeah, that's a horizontal line. But it's a lot better if you memorize it. Horizontal, 0. And the reason why I say that is because you cannot make this into a fraction. It's undefined. It doesn't exist. It's just not anything. And this time they didn't give me B. They gave me an x-intercept. So my x-intercept is positive 3. Slope is undefined. You just have to know that that is a vertical line that's going to go through this one point. You just have to know it. Now number 10. It's going to go asking you not to graph the line, but what is M and B? Well, what's B? B is the y-intercept. That's right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you could tell me just 5. It doesn't have to be an ordered pair. What's the slope? Well, I can either go from this point that way, or I can go from this point that way. It doesn't matter. So which way do you want to go? I'm going to go from here to here. So I'm going to have to go down 1, 2, 3. So if I go down 3 and over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is my slope negative? Should it be negative? I think so. Now we have to do a lot more algebra. Now we have to find the slope and y-intercept, not from a picture, not from points, but from an equation. So what do we have to do? We have to solve each equation for y, and then tell me what m and b is, and I'm also going to ask you to graph it. So that's a lot of stuff to remember. So let's go through the steps. First thing you do is solve for y. Get y by itself. How can I do that? Subtract 3x. So I have y equals 3 minus 3x. Could I also write that as y equals negative 3x plus 3? Yes, I can. Because what I want this to look like is y equals mx plus b. That's what I want my equation to look like, because then I know the coefficient of x is m, which is my slope, and the other number is b, which is my y-intercept. Did I do that? Yes, I did. So m is the coefficient of x, and b is the other number, but that only works if you've gotten y by itself. Now let's graph it. So b is 3. Remember, alphabetical first. I'm going to put that over 1, so I'm going to go down 3 and over 1. I'm going to do it again. Oh, and just for fun, I'm going to do it again. The more points I have, the better looking my line tends to be. Not hard. Okay, so I need to get y by itself. So I'm going to subtract 2x. Then I have to divide by negative 3. So instead of drawing one big long line, I'm just going to divide each part by negative 3. So negative over negative is positive. Negative over negative is positive. And again, if I want it to look like y equals mx plus b, I just need to rearrange it. When I do that, the number in front of x, the coefficient of x, is my slope, and then my constant is b. So graphing, there's my line. Alright, so I want to get y by itself, so I want to subtract 5x. I want to divide everything by negative 2. Negative over negative is a positive. I want to write my x first. And again, I'm looking for that form of y equals mx plus b. Now I know my m is 5/2, and my b isn't 5, but it's negative 5. So I have 5/2 and negative 5. Again, alphabetical, do b first. That always goes on your y-axis. And then we're going to do rise over run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up 5, over 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, up 5, over 2. So in this lesson we learned a lot. How to find the slope given 2 points, how to find the slope from a line, how to graph, and how to get y by itself and find m and b and graph, putting it all together.